Hello, everybody. It is Amber Kivett here with Life Pro. Super excited to share with you on our Fun Friday that we are going to be working on knee relief, knee pain. Whether you are coming off of a total knee replacement, you've just had surgery on an ACL reconstruction, you've got osteoarthritis, or you just have general knee pain. This episode is for all of you that you can use our different Life Pro products to enhance the ability to move through the knee joint. But also, if you do have pain and you're not getting relief through working with your doctor or your therapist, or you don't want to go to a doctor or go to a therapist, I'm going to give you some tips, tricks, and strategies from being a medical professional in the sports medicine industry on what I do to help my clients with knee pain using the different Life Pro products. I'm going to take you through a little bit of a workout with the different vibration platforms. I've got four different ones here featured today. We've got the Rumble X Plus, which is flat. We have the Rumble X Pro, which has a little bit of a curve. I'm sitting on the Turbo, and then I've got the Waver Mini behind me. Some items that you might need to have at home in order to help out with knee pain is what I like to call the Amber squishy ball. You got to have the squishy ball in order to be able to squeeze in between the legs. If you can get yourself a booty band, these are also referred to as slingshot hip circles. You can get these on Amazon for like $10 for a pack. My favorite is the Mark Bell slingshot hip circle. This one is like max resistance and does not have little grippies on the inside. And then I've got another one that does have grippies on the inside. You can wear these directly on your skin, or you can wear them over pants or shorts. But you'll need those. And then you're going to also want to have on hand your mini loop resistance bands that came with your Life Pro product. If you're doing the vibration exercises with me, if you can make sure you have a stool, the stool needs to be, or I'm going to be using a box behind me. You're going to want to have something to actually sit on. When you sit, you're going to want to make sure that your hips are sitting higher than your knees. I'm just sitting here, so I'm close and in person with all of you. So as you are chiming in, if you do have knee injuries, knee pain, I've worked with quite a few people this last year who have had total knee replacements that have gone wrong for whatever reason, whether they were fit with the wrong prosthetic, or whether they had an infection, or their body just rejected the hardware. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong. But the percentage of something going wrong with a total knee replacement is pretty low. But nonetheless, we do develop scar tissue in there, and Life Pro products have the ability to help with breaking up and managing scar tissue to provide pain relief, and in some ways, instant pain relief. So I'm going to talk to you about some of those strategies today. I've also got featured here, we have the BioRecover knee brace, and this is a red light therapy brace made just specifically for knees. So I'm going to teach you how to use that after we do our program with the vibration platforms. I'll show you how you can put that on and use it as a post-exercise solution, or you can actually use it before you get on a platform and use it to draw blood flow to that area. But the idea of red light therapy is to stimulate the regeneration of collagen and stem cells, and to help with inflammation. And that's what tends to fill in the void in the knee joint itself. So this is made specifically for the knee with red light therapy as our primary source of a modality for healing, and works wonders, works really, really well. If you want something that's more practical for multiple areas, we have the Aleva Red Pro red light therapy belt. And so this has vibration to it. It is actually made to go around the waist, but I'm going to teach you how to strap it on your knee thigh so that you can use it for multiple uses, as opposed to having to buy one specialization knee brace. You can buy the red light therapy belt. The Aleva Red Pro is my favorite. And you can just buy this and use it for a shoulder. You can use it for a back or hip. You can use it for the leg, whatever you want to. But it has vibration, it has infrared, and it has red light. And again, that helps to regenerate how our body heals itself. It provides the optimal environment for our body to heal itself, and it reduces inflammation. So we're going to talk about that. And last but not least, my favorite thing to do with people who have knee pain is cupping. And Life Pro has its own digital power operated cup. You're going to need more than one of these. I tell a lot of my clients and a lot of our customers, make sure you buy these in pairs. So if you're going to get 2, that's great. If you're going to get 3, you might as well get 4, because you want to be able to equalize and create symmetry or symmetrical application. But I'm going to show you exactly where these need to go and what you do when you actually have them on, so that you can help with breaking up the fascial connective tissue adhesions and scar tissue that cause a lot of knee pain. A lot of knee pain, well, I'll go back on that. Not necessarily a lot, but there's no statistics that really state what caused one from the other. But knee pain can be an alignment issue. It can also be because of too much scar tissue or too many adhesions in the fascia, not allowing the body to move. Our knee is a hinge joint. So what does that mean? It's like the hinge on a door. It is made to open and close. So just open and close. If this is my knee, this is my femur, this bone right here. This is my tibia, this bone right here. Those two come together, and there is a lubricating layer in between called our meniscus that's kind of like a rubber washer between nut and bolt. And when we move in the joint, there's a process of lubrication there with the meniscus. But there's also ligaments in there that hold the knee together, because again, it's a hinge joint. It's not made to teeter totter, not meant to do this, not meant to torque. It's not like a 360-degree ball and socket joint like our hip and our shoulder. It is just simply a hinge joint, open and close, that's it. The job of the knee is to connect foot ankle to hip, okay? So I tell people a lot of times, yes, you might have a diagnosis that you have an actual knee problem, but why do you have the knee problem? If it's connecting your foot to your hip, if your foot doesn't have good mobility, if your hip doesn't have mobility, knee has more mobility and it's not supposed to. So just because you have received a diagnosis that says you've got osteoarthritis or you've got a meniscus tear or you've got an ACL partial tear, doesn't mean that that's where the source of the problem lies. That's where the outlet of the problem is. That's where the damage is. But what caused it to begin with? That goes back to hips, goes back to feet. So I want you to remember, on the bottom of our feet, there are 3 primary areas of contact that we've got to focus on when we are standing and loading into the ground. Point A is right here at the base of your big toe. Point B, right here at base of little toe. And point C, right here in the center of the heel. And when we position our body weight on those 3 points equally, we have a triangle. And when we have a triangle of energy contacting with the ground, we can absorb energy for free. Like if I'm going to give you a $100 bill for free, are you going to go work for it? No, you're going to take the $100 bill and you're going to use it, right? The ground is full of $100 bills, but only if you load on those 3 points so that you can ground. That's called grounding, okay? And if we're using our big toe, so if we're not using our big toe, this whole part of our body does not actively fire, which means our butt doesn't turn on, which means our hips are weak, which means our knee has to work harder. So hopefully that kind of connects some dots for you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But I want to be able to show you these exercises because they're super easy to do. And if you're wanting to tone up those legs, getting rid of some of the dimples in your legs, these exercises work for that too. So if you don't have knee pain, you don't have any injury, and you're just wanting to tone up these legs, or you're wanting to get stronger, you're wanting to work on balance, these are your exercises. So these work for about everything, okay? So we're gonna start with that. But again, I've got 4 different platforms here that I wanna be able to share and demonstrate. We're gonna try and do 5-10 minutes on each platform so you can understand the difference. The turbo here in front of me right now has 2 motors. It has a pulsating motor, which means it tickles the feet through vibration. And it has an oscillating motor, which means it looks like a teeter-totter when it's in motion. Our 2 rumble X units on the sides have 3 motors, which equal 4-dimensional application of our vibration. What we need to remember is mechanical vibration is a stimulus for up to 80% of our muscle fibers to excite themselves and twitch like they're supposed to, anywhere from 10 to 50 times per second without the brain providing the feedback. So by standing on this, we're actually activating certain muscles that need to be working that usually are not working. And the most important muscle that can cause a lot of a problem with a knee is referred to as the VMO for short, vastus medialis. And that is this muscle right here on the inside of your knee. So again, right here on the inside of the knee, that VMO, it is the first muscle that shuts down when we have a knee injury. And it is our stability muscle. It's what keeps our kneecap tracking to where it should be. Otherwise, it comes here to the outside, and then we have a lot of pain here along the outside of the leg. So we want to make sure that we are keeping that muscle excited because it is our stabilizer and it works like a pump. And when we have knee pain, we have a knee injury, we have a lot of swelling that fills up in that space, and there's not a lot of room for swelling to go. So it will look like a baseball or a cantaloupe. A lot of swelling in the knee, okay? That's where the red light therapy comes in. So we want to make sure if you are not able to move very well, can't bend and straighten out your leg because it feels tense or stiff or like tight, it's because there's gunk in there. So we got to get that gunk out of there. We got in vibration, we'll do that because it's creating those muscles to fire, which those muscles create a pumping mechanism, which extracts the gunk from the furthest part of our body back to our lymphatic system so our body can eliminate it. So you see what I'm saying with all this. So we're just going to start. I got to make sure for safety issues that I've got my units here all set up so I'm not tripping over everything. There we go. So I'm going to start with the turbo here, okay? And what I want you to remember, don't worry about settings on the turbo. I just want you to pick a program and run with it. So don't worry about what frequency do I need to have for osteoporosis or for osteoarthritis. Too much thinking. Let's keep it simple, okay? And so what I'm going to do, I've got the power button on. I'm going to push the set button, which will allow me to go through the different programs. And I like to choose a program of a higher level. The higher the program, usually the more intensity. And the idea with higher intensity is to get things firing. So now we're moving. The machine takes care of itself. You don't have to think, and you get to heal all at the same time. It's like really, really good idea. So let me adjust here. So all I want you to do when you get on your platform, I don't care which one you have, if you've got a Life Pro platform, but you're going to see things jiggling. This is good. That means we're getting things moving. We're getting, I call it junk in the trunk. We're getting the gunk flowing. And if we can't break it free, we can't use it. So we can't eliminate, we can't restructure, reshape. So yes, I got the shorts on today so you can see that the junk in the trunk is in motion. And I do have adhesions. And today I actually have back pain. But today I have back pain probably because I've been on my feet a lot and I've been bending over a lot. And so the energy through here is a little different. So this is actually going to help me because if the energy is bypassing all of these stuck spots and going straight to my back, then I feel it in my back. I don't feel it in the knee. So remember on the feet, those three primary points, base of your big toe, base of your little toe, center of your heel, makes a triangle. I want you to try and feel those 3 points on both feet at the same time. And we're just standing here absorbing this energy. And it is creating, I call it a gentle earthquake effect, in which it is rattling apart bonds that are causing problems that shouldn't be there. And when that happens, we release excess fluid, we release excess toxicity, and then we're actually able to move. And we're able to metabolize fat better, and we're able to experience a lower level of stress hormone, and then we get happy hormones going on, and then that releases the endorphins, which is our natural painkiller, and then what do you know? We don't have pain. It's a great idea. So all I want you to do though is just focus on those 3 primary points, because if we are putting all of our weight on the outside edge of the foot and our big toe is not working, we're feeling the energy here along the outside of the thigh, and we really need to feel it through the center, okay? So all I'm wanting you to do is focus on feeling those 3 points on the bottom of both feet. And if you want to go less energy, we're going to go closer to the center. Okay, you're not going to see as much shaky. My left leg is shaky a lot more. My right leg is a little more glued because I'm, that's the leg that for whatever reason is feeling a little more stuck today. So you're going to see more dimples going crazy on one leg versus the other. And the idea is equality. We want equality on right versus left. We want both to be as close to the same as possible. So if I take my feet wider, we're going to feel this a lot more. And we're going to feel it actually all the way up here. I'm feeling this all the way up in my mid back. But we need to make sure that we're actually feeling this through the whole lower body, because the knee pain is just part of the problem. The vibration is a global solution for relief from neck to feet, okay? So we can put our hands on our knees, which puts us into a squat. if we are afraid to squat because we don't think we can squat, we can put some crazy ideas in our mind and talk ourselves out of it. But just putting your hands on your knees, you can hold this position. You don't have to like, okay, get into a squat. You don't have to sit in a squat and try and hold yourself up. Use yourself. You know, you can put your hands on your knees and stabilize yourself. Okay. If this is bothering you, we're going to go to a seated position. Okay. And I want to make sure when you're in a seated position that your bench height or your seat height is going to be higher than the level of your knees. So your hips are going to sit higher so that you're not cranking on the hips. So we want to hip higher than the knee. So if this were down a little bit lower, we'd have to find something a little bit taller. Now, when you're in position on the platform, again, we're feeling those 3 primary points on the bottom of the feet, okay? And I want to make sure that your knee is at least directly over the arch of your foot. So if you're sitting back a little further, you're not going to feel this where we want to feel it. So let's make sure that we're sitting a little more forward and that we can feel this in our lower legs, because remember, all these muscles in the tibial area, in the lower leg, in the calf, they all have some kind of play on the knee joint and whether we have pain there or not. So if we're really tight and bound and stuck and glued and full of lumps in our lower legs, it is going to cause more problems in the knee automatically without you actually having a knee injury. So breaking up the gunk in the lower legs is going to take away some of the problem in the knee, okay? Now, as we are sitting here, we can go, I want you to just focus on fanning your knees in and out before we put anything in our thighs or on the outside of our thighs. When we're doing this, notice that my feet are staying glued, like my feet are not moving at the same time. Feet are staying stuck, okay? The other thing I want you to really try and focus on is trying to spread your toes as wide as you possibly can. So if our toes are pulled together like this, we're not getting as much energy input, so less $100 bills, which means we have to work harder. So let's take the free money and let's spread those toes as wide as we can. And if you can't spread your toes, get yourself a pair of gel toe separators off of Amazon for 10 bucks, and that will help in allowing your toes to open up. Now, from here, I'm going to take the Amber squishy ball. If you happen to have a Life Pro Horizon balance trainer, you get the squishy ball with that. But we're just going to put the ball in between our knees. Nothing exciting about it. You can use a kick ball. This is what is called a Pilates bar ball, B-A-R-R-E ball. You can also look up posture ball, but we want something that has some squishy to it. Why? I want you to attempt to pop the ball. So if we squeeze the ball like we're going to pop it, it changes where the vibration goes in the lower legs, and it allows us to fire and stimulate this VMO muscle that is so important for knee pain and for knee pain relief. So by squeezing and holding this ball with vibration, we are multitasking a lot of things happening together and connecting the dots from the bottom of our feet to our brain, which shuts the pain cycle off, okay? So I just want you to squeeze the ball like you're going to pop it and then just relax it. You're probably going to feel this all the way up here in your hips. And guess what? A source of knee pain is weak hips. So if your booty is not strong, then you are going to have knee pain because the hip collapses and the knee has to take over. So we're just trying to squeeze and pop that ball. I want you to do that 5 times in a row. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold. We're just going to hold for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now watch. We're just going to stand up a little bit. You don't have to be straight-legged, okay? Just a little bit of a partial bend. Squeeze and pop that ball, okay? Now the energy is flowing through the knee, but my whole thigh is firing in a vertical pattern with vibration, and now we're getting a lot of other muscles working, including my booty muscles, okay? So I want you to pulse that 5 times. So squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold. Hold for 5 seconds. You're trying to pop that ball, okay? And yes, you're going to feel a lot of burning. That's good. That means adaptation. We've got stuff that's starting to work. We're starting to turn those muscles on. That's the idea. Now we're going to switch location of the ball. We're going to put the ball way up higher. I'm going to tell you to pretend like you're giving birth to that ball. I'm jokingly saying that, not meaning it serious. And we're going to refocus on those 3 primary points on the bottom of the foot. We're going to have a seat, and we're going to, again, we're going to squeeze like we're going to pop the ball while our feet are glued to the platform. And yes, you're going to feel this totally different. But guess what? Not only are we getting this working, we're getting the VMO working. Now we're working it up into our pelvic floor. Oh, light bulb, really good stuff. We want that pelvic floor to be firing because that's what transfers energy up into our core power zone, which means our knees don't have to work so hard. When our power zone is not working, when the pelvic floor is not functioning and not receiving that energy through the ground, through our limbs, the knee is having to work harder to make up for the extra energy because this is not working and the energy is lost in order to use our torso. So we're popping that ball 5 times, then we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to rise. Okay, squeezing the ball like we're going to pop it. Release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Yes, and my feet are staying glued. Feet are not shifting. Everything stays on the 3 primary points, and we are squeezing and holding like we're going to pop. Okay, some of you might feel like you're going to pop. Okay, now make this a little bit harder. We're going to pretend like we're hovering a toilet. Okay, so the bench behind me or your chair behind you, you can hold on to it if you need to, but I want you to sit back like you are hovering that toilet. Okay, because let's face it, we all have to use a toilet for the most part. So don't say, I can't squat, I'm not supposed to do this. No, you have to use the toilet. So I want you to sit back and hover the toilet. Squeeze the ball like you're going to pop it, release. Squeeze to pop, release. Let's do that 3 more times. 3, 2, 1. Notice my feet are staying glued to the surface. And now I'm going to squeeze and pop really hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For what it's worth, my legs are on fire. That means it is working. Okay. Now that's 10 minutes on the turbo. So I'm going to switch out machines and we're going to try a different machine so you can see how it looks different. So that's your turbo. That's your that's one of our most popular items that we've sold. We're going to go with the baby here. I like to travel with the baby. This is the Waver Mini. It's just a little bitty one. We're going to power it on. And again, choose program mode. Go as high as you want to go. I'm going to go to 9. Turn it on. Now, much smaller surface, okay? Packs a punch, 1 motor. 1 motor is oscillating like a teeter-totter, okay? So, yes, I'm feeling the energy. You can see things shaking, rattling, rolling, blah, 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 right? Bouncing off the walls. Junk in the trunk is in motion, which means we get to use it for energy. Fat breaking down. Movement is medicine. Motion is lotion, okay? All right, now, what I want you to do is you can, again, go back to the squishy ball. We can put the squishy ball below the knees, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to squeeze and pop the ball, drop down, and rise back up, okay? If you feel more comfortable with the ball being directly in between your knees, that's fine. But we're going to squeeze the ball, not hard enough to try and pop it because we don't want to over enhance those hip muscles after 10 minutes in. Let's just squeeze the ball gently. Let's have a seat, okay? And let's go ahead and rise. So we're working on a functional pattern in which we have to sit down and stand up. And guess what? If you have balance problems, whether you're aging as a senior citizen, you've had an injury, balance is the #1 thing you lose after an injury. Whether you are just having an off day, equilibrium, vertigo, tinnitus, all these different things with our balance being in the inner ear. If you're having trouble with balance, this is a great exercise. We're just squeezing the ball ever so gently, having a seat, making sure we keep the ball squeezed, and then we rise, okay? And if you need to use your hands to help, it doesn't make you a weakling. It doesn't make you a failure. It just means today you're going to use your hands, and tomorrow you might be able to do it without your hands, okay? So that's another great exercise just to do for balance. Now, what I want you to grab next is you're going to grab your red mini loop band. We're going to put it around our ankles, and we're going to stay in a seated position here. Now, this is a little bit harder because the machine is much smaller, but for those of you who have the Waver, which is our #1 seller, or for those of you who have a smaller unit, I want you to have some options as to what you can do and how to modify. So I'm going to scooch both of my feet to the edge so that I'm able to load into the side with the most amount of energy. And all I'm doing, I'm staying grounded. This leg is not moving. It is stuck, okay? And you can hold it here and pretend like it's stuck. And I'm just stepping out with my leg. So we're working this whole group of muscles, and we're using this group of muscles just to stabilize, okay? So we're just tapping, and we're gonna do that until we get tired. I don't like to give out numbers. I'm gonna say 20 to 30 is probably gonna make you feel like you're on fire, but you do however many you need to where you feel like you're getting something out of it. When you get tired on that side, we're gonna shift over. We're gonna do the other side. And we're gonna give a lot of love to both sides. Now, here's a little insight for you. My lower legs are starting to itch something fierce. That means I am detoxing. I am eliminating stuff in my tissues, and where there's bound up tissues, there are issues, okay? So if you start to feel a little itchy, that's good, keep going. That means your body is eliminating the stuff causing some of the problem, and it is healing. So don't be afraid of itchy. I love to feel itchy when I'm on the vibration platform, okay? So we're gonna do as many of those as we can. Now we can stand up and we can work balance. So now we can step in and step out, okay? This just has oscillating movement, so teeter-totter. So we don't have to worry about quick shift balance like you do on the Rumblex models. And it allows you to figure that balance out. If you wanna use a countertop or the back of your sofa, if you wanna install some bars or use a stair rail in order to be able to balance while you're doing this, by all means, it does not make you inferior or weak if you have to use props because you don't feel strong enough to do what I'm doing here in person. I want you to remember you've already survived your worst day, and so being able to do these exercises just for enhancing motion. You don't even have to have anything wrong with you or have any pain. You can do this for prevention. I teach this to a lot of athletes for prevention, using it for a warm-up, but just stepping together and stepping out and having control over that, okay? The other one that's really good is staying in one spot. So we hold on to the knee and this part of my body stays stuck. The other part of the body moves, but now we're standing instead of sitting down, okay? So that's how I like to use the Waver Mini. I'm gonna show you next the difference between the Rumblex models. And this is really, really important when it comes to which model you're wanting to buy. If you have total joint replacement, so if you have had a knee replacement, I want you to see that this one is got a curve to it, okay? It has a curve. And if you have a fixed piece of metal in a prominent point of your body, hence the knee joint, when you stand on this, your feet are at an angle which causes your knees to collapse more like the shape of an L, okay? We call this valgus stress. This is great if we're trying to access energy here on the outside and on the inside, but if you have pain that develops in the knee joint, whether you have a knee replacement or not, and if you are standing on the edges, just simply bring your feet closer together a little bit, or you can put a mat all the way across the top and that will equalize it out. Let me see if I got my mat handy. I usually have them right here. Yes, I do. So you can take, this is just a cut up yoga mat from Walmart, 10 bucks, cut it into multiple different pieces. You put that in the middle and it brings the middle up so that you're more equalized. So if you already have a Rumblex Pro, which is curved, I love this one because it's really wide that we can work with, but it does have a little bit of a curve to it. So if you have knee pain on the outside, the inside, or if you have artificial knee replacement, if you've had your knee replaced, you have artificial joint, this can cause a little bit of excess pain because we're changing knee alignment when we drop those feet to the outside, but we're requiring more energy on the hips. So it's a good thing there. So it's not all bad. We just have to figure out what works for us. Not everybody is going to have knee pain who has had a total knee replacement if you have the Rumblex Pro. So if you have the Pro, you want the Pro because it just sounds better because it is awesome. Don't be afraid to get that. But what I'm going to tell you is do not buy the Rumblex 4D, which is one of the original Rumblex models that we manufactured. And if you get the Rumblex 4D, it has a really big curve on both sides. This one will cause knee pain or will cause hip pain if you already have knee replacements. So don't buy the 4D, the original Rumblex. You're gonna want the Plus, which is flat, or the Pro. This is the Plus. Now, I want you to go ahead, if you happen to have a hip circle or a booty band, I call them booty bands, If you happen to have one of these, I want you to go ahead and put it on. It's like putting it on like pantyhose. And we're going to slide it all the way up to our mid-thigh, okay? I have a light resistance one on. Actually, I'm going to put on my Mark Bell because I love the Mark Bell hip circle. It's my favorite. And I'm going to put it on just right above. I'm going to put it like mid-thigh. So when I stand up, it's going to fall about mid-thigh. Now, I'm going to do this from a seated position. My favorite program on the Rumble X Pro is P2. And you can find P2 when you turn on your machine. You're going to go to what looks like a gear. Okay, it looks like a gear. You're going to push that button twice for P2. You'll actually see P2 light up in red at the bottom of the screen. And now we're going to push the triangle going aside, not up and down, but going aside. And we're going to push play. Okay, now I'm sitting pretty comfortably on this box. I'm going to scooch forward so that my knees are more lined over the arches of my feet. And all I'm wanting to do here, I can go feet together and work on ripping the band apart, or I can go feet wide and try and rip the band apart. I want you to play around with that and see what you feel at home, because what you feel at home is going to be very different from what I feel at home. But we'll start in the middle, and all I'm doing is, we call these clamshells, okay? The difference is most clamshells in a physical therapy setting are taught with the legs together. We can do that. We can go feet together. And I love this exercise way better than laying down, because when are you ever laying down relying on your hips to do things? Like, we're most often loaded. So when we teach our body to do clamshells in a laying down position, when we actually have to put our foot into the ground and load, our body reacts a little different. So I like being ground based because the energy is coming through our feet. Free $100 bills all day, every day. So we're just opening and closing like we're ripping that band apart. Now, make it easier or harder. So faster is easier. Slower and controlled is harder, okay? Now, if I go feet shoulder width apart, try and rip it apart, okay? You're gonna feel this more up high, but remember, a lot of times we'll have knee pain because this is not working. So if you want to move into a variety of different positions and just work on opening and ripping that band apart, okay, that's going to be a great exercise. Now, I did 3 different widths of my feet spread apart, ripping the band apart. Feet stayed glued. Now, I'm actually going to let my feet open up and actually move. Why? Because I want to work this whole outside line, and I want to be able to work it in a variety of different directions, okay? And if you sit forward, or if you even hover, so if you come off the box of the chair and you hold yourself up and try and rip the band apart, you feel it totally different. This is like the ultimate butt workout. So those of you who are trying to build the beautiful butt, I'm in the business of building beautiful butts. It's a great exercise. Those of you who want to stand and get into a little bit of a squat position, when you put your hands, the center of your palms on your knees, and again, we open and close, you're going to feel this in your butt really, really strong. So if you're wanting to feel it in your booty, this is the exercise to do. You don't feel the same way when you're sitting down. So you can create some variability here. Feet come together. You're going to drop it open, okay? As you're opening, you're going to feel that more hamstring back here. We can go really wide, drop down, and do what we call groiners, opening up, okay? Not bringing those legs all the way together, feeling that more back here. All of it contributes to the knee joint because all those muscles play together to stabilize the knee. So again, let's rip the band apart. We can go to a hover position where we're lifting our butt up but holding onto the bench. We can actually hover like we're getting ready to sit down on the toilet, okay, opening and closing. When we go to lean forward to put our hands on our knees, it is a totally different feeling, okay? But we are igniting those booty muscles. So that's how you use the Mark Bell hip circle. The other exercise that I love to do with the Mark Bell hip circle is we can stand, so if we go shoulder width apart, foot comes to the center, foot comes to the outside. So we're working on balance in 4-dimensional motion, which is not easy to do, by the way. And as you're getting better with that, when you go outside into the real world, just regular everyday balance just gets easier, okay? So if I want to load this leg, put that hand on that knee and just tap out, okay? Tap out. Now, this is not going to be as intense with the band above the knee as if you have your mini loop band around your ankles. That exercise amplifies, and you're gonna feel that intense. It's a great exercise. Another favorite. But again, we already showed you this one. You can sit and do tap outs. A lot of times, because of the lower body being such a huge lever with a lot of power and a lot of strength, you might have to go up to the blue band, okay? Might have to go up to the blue band. So again, I'm gonna hold onto the knee and try not to sway my body side to side. So it's kind of like if there's a wall here, you should not be able to know that I'm tapping out to the outside. I should be able to be stable, tapping out, but I'm loading this leg. The VMO here is going bonkers. It's a good exercise, okay? So, and then we can switch sides. Now this leg stays put, and now we tap out the other side. But again, nothing's moving from here up because we are loading and stabilizing, okay? Now, the other thing we can do is we can load center. We can go out, out, in, out, out, in, okay? The other thing is you can do that on the ground without the platform. So if you are wanting to do that exercise, but you don't feel stable on the platform, you can just do it standing, tapping out on the ground. So same exercise applies, but remember when we're on the vibration platform, it is automatically signaling for those muscles to go crazy, super active. You can hear my breathing has just gone up, heart rate is up. It's a good problem. This is a great workout, and we're working on our knees and our strength and our whole, it is a total body. Even though I'm not using my arms, it is still a total body. Now, another favorite that I like to teach, you take your amber squishy ball, you put the ball right here on your thigh, and you hold it with your chest, and then you just step out. So you can hold on, and if you step out, guess what? We are loading those hips, butts, guns, thighs, all of it. You can compress the ball, get the guns firing, okay? We switch sides, squeeze, hold the ball. This gets really hard, by the way, okay? Now, another favorite exercise is we keep the band on, compress the ball with the chest, and then from here, we tap up, step down, step up, step down. This is awesome for strength in the knee. And again, you can stay more centered, so you have the balance. Woo, Jolly, those are on fire. Okay, so we're gonna switch sides because I'm burning. I wanna hear you guys burning. Okay, and you can use your arms for balance. You can hold on to the ball if you need to, but we're just stepping. And if you don't wanna bend over, just hold the ball and step up. Step ups are awesome exercise. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, those are the main ones that I wanted to be able to show you. Now, let's talk about one other thing that's really important. When it comes to being on a curved platform, if you take your feet and you push down and in, like you're pushing, not necessarily in. I want you to think about if there is a paper towel that is split down the center and you're trying to rip it apart without stepping off the platform, you're gonna push down into the platform and you're gonna try and split your feet apart, okay? Which means your legs are gonna be stuck like glue. When you hold in this position, the vibration works its way up the outside, okay? Great feeling. When we add the squishy ball to the middle of the legs and we push down and to the outside, now we're getting activation here at the muscles on the outside and on the inside because we're squeezing the ball. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reciprocated reaction. So if I'm squeezing the ball, my feet are attached to the vibration's traveling through the ball, it is squeezing, activating these muscles, and I'm using these muscles. So it is a total body igniter. Great exercise. Just pushing hard into the platform. You can get into a deeper squat. You can rise to the occasion, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to hold, but pushing your feet into the bank makes a big difference than if you're just standing here and experiencing it. If you're just standing here and relaxing, that's totally cool. But if you want to activate as many muscles as possible in the lower body, that's the way to do it, okay? All right, so let's go to the Rumble X Plus. Because it is a flat platform, it is going to feel much different than the Rumble X Pro, which is curved. So again, the Plus is completely flat. So if you have total hip, total knee replacements, this is always the one that I recommend for people because you're going to be safe when it comes to alignment issues, okay? And we're going to be able to do some exercises on this that are a lot harder to do on the Pro because it is curved, but it's a good, this is my favorite. Okay, now, again, we're trying to work on balance. We're trying to get all these different muscles firing like bananas, like going crazy. So I'm going to choose to power on. I'm going to choose the P button twice for P2 and the play button. Now, I'm going to stand and just get comfortable with it first, okay? We're just getting comfortable with it first. And then from here, what I want you to do is just stand on one leg. This is the hard one. And you can stand in the middle. Now, you've got your control panel here. So if you're having trouble with feeling or you don't want to accidentally turn it off, put that mat over the top of it so that you don't have the ability to turn it off. But you're just going to stand on one leg. We're going to go with trying to stand on two, and then just sway your weight to the one side. If you need to hold on to the ball for extra balance, it's easier to do that than going all over the place. Okay, we're going to stand back to neutral, stand back to balance. And remember, because we have 3 motors on this, and it is going through the different movements, it's challenging your body to adapt and adjust. So if you want to keep that, you can even keep the big toe down. And then load again, load just big toe. If you want to make it hard on yourself, we can try and bring that knee up higher to the chest. So I'm going to go to the other side. So just getting balance, not doing anything. Now, when you do this, make sure that you are not locking your knee out, okay? We don't ever want to lock our knee out on a vibration platform, regardless of what exercises we're doing. Don't ever lock your knee out because it locks your hips into place, and that's not what we want. We don't want the SI joint to be in place. So see how hard that is? And I do this quite a bit. Okay, and then we're right back down. Okay, squeeze the ball, lift, hold, can drop the toe down, pick the knee up, drop the toe down, pick the knee up. A lot of different things we can do here. All right. Now, once you get your balance, another good favorite is we step down, bring the knee up, drop back, bring the knee up. Now, you don't see me like dynamically loading this knee. This knee stays put, okay? It's not going anywhere. So we just drop back, bring the knee up to the ball, drop back, bring the knee up to the ball. So we are forcing balance. We're forcing this muscle to start working, and we're getting motion all at the same time. Now, if you can't bring that knee up, that's okay. If you want to bring it to the side, because that's where it feels safe, bring it up to the side. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay? We're switching sides, dropping back, come back to the center. And again, this is not an easy exercise. If you want to put that ball on the thigh and do it this way, you can do it that way as well. Okay? We can toe tap to the outside. A lot of different ways, a lot of different variations. Squeeze the ball. You can do a leg lift to the side, dropping back, leg lift. Okay, bringing the knee to, back like old step aerobic days. Okay, so you can do that. Again, we can just stand and receive. Okay, we can squeeze the ball and just receive this. But because it's flat, let's make sure that we're focusing on those 3 primary points of contact so that we're getting the energy up in the legs where we want it, and it makes its way all the way up into our hips because we're trying to break down the hips as well. Oh, this feels great. I don't know about you guys, but this feels good. Okay, I'm going to hover just a little bit. So getting into a nice deep squat. We can go really, really deep if you want to try and hold that. Squeezing. Coming up nice and slow. Let's see how slow you can go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze and pop the ball. Rise up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Burning, burning, burning. Okay. Squeeze and drop. Stabilizing. I know you're burning with me here. Okay. Squeeze like you're going to pop it. Ooh, feeling that. Rising back up. Tell you what, if you have shin splints, plantar fasciitis, this is a good one too, because we're using those lower legs and we're breaking up all that congestion in our lower leg, and it's an awesome feeling. Okay, so there's that exercise. Now, I've covered a lot of different things for you here. One of the most important things to remember is that we need range of motion, okay? So if you just want to sit on the platform and enjoy it, okay? I'm gonna bring you down to my level so we can visit. If you want to just simply work on motion in the leg, that's always really important. We can have one leg out and we can do a slide. We can bring the leg to us, pick it up and bring it up nice and tight. The whole idea is we want to make sure that we're getting full motion, full knee flexion, okay? And then the other one is making sure that we're getting full straightening. So I can be sitting on this and I can go toes to nose and then lift the leg straight up. Drop it back down, relax. Toes to nose, leg straight up, down, relax. And if you don't want to hold yourself up, lean back. Toes to nose, leg straight up, drop it down, relax. Another exercise, if you're not wanting to do the leg lift, is just pulling the toes to nose. Just pull the toes to the nose and imagine that Amber's getting ready to punch you right there on the inside of that thigh, and you're going to tighten it up, okay? And when you tighten it up, your heel should come up off the ground, okay? But you have to make sure your toes to nose. If your toe is pointed, it doesn't work. Toes to nose, tighten, lift, okay? So there's a great exercise. And just again, working on getting those knees bent, getting them straight, because in order to walk normal, the leg has to be able to extend out, okay? In order to climb stairs, we got to be able to bend that knee. So I want to show you really quick. I've showed you the platforms. I want to show you really quick how to use cupping for relief. And you're going to need some kind of a cream in order to use for application, because you have to have like, I'm going to say like a lubricant or like a barrier. You're going to need that in order to apply the cup, in order to make it want to stay in place. So I just use a regular moisturizing cream. And what we're going to do, I'm not actually going to use the vibration platform, but I'm going to put my foot on it so you can see the knee a little bit better. You can use the vibration platform when we're doing this. It won't hurt anything if you do. Okay. Now, these cups are awesome, by the way. So we're going to put, most people who have knee pain right here in the center, we're going to put the cup right here above the kneecap. So just put a little bit of cream there. Doesn't take, I don't have to put on the whole leg. Just in that one spot, it creates a grip. All right. And on here, you're going to see a red button. Okay. Red button. You're going to push, and now we've got it on. Okay. We have 3 different levels of intensity, 3 different levels of suction. So you can do whatever you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it on there, and it's already starting to suction in. And then I'm going to straighten and bend the knee with the cup on. Okay. I don't have the number 2 cup out here. I do have, I will normally put 2 or 3 in a line on the knee. Okay. But you're going to put it not on the kneecap. You don't want to put it directly on the kneecap. We're putting right above the kneecap. Okay. So you can do that, or guess what? You can load. You can stand and you can bend at the same time that the cup is on. And by the way, this does not feel good. I want you to embrace the burning sensation. It's going to feel not so great, but embrace the burn. That is the pain actually leaving your body. So straighten and bend. You can bring the knee up, put it down, pull it up, put it down. There's a lot of different variations you can do with this, but when the cup is on and you're moving, it is suctioning and lifting like a vacuum, creating space for blood flow to force its way in. That's what looks like the bruise, but it's not a bruise. We're decompressing with negative pressure. So we're separating, pushing gunky, stagnant blood flow out that is not helping you, and all the other stuff that goes with it, and we're bringing new blood flow in, which is what heals, okay? To turn this off, you're gonna push the power button again, and there you go. Now you can see I already have a mark. Doesn't take much time. I already have a mark on my knee, okay, where I put that on there. So again, stick it on there. So my kneecap is right here. Stick it on, push the power button, and it stays put. you can see how it's raised there. And we can just work on straightening, or you just sit there and relax, just let it do its job, but it's not coming off. So power off, it releases it, and you can see where it has separated layers. So this comes off, that comes off, and then you can wash it, okay? And if you see there, I got cream on there, so we wanna make sure and we wipe that off too. So that is Amber's tips, tricks, and solutions for knee pain. Once you wipe all that off, if you want to use the knee brace after the fact, we can do that. You do have to have the power cable to go with, and I have an external battery. This is not something that comes with the product. You have to buy these separate, and you can buy those on Amazon. But we are going to plug in here, and then I'm missing part of my remote, it would appear. So let me grab the other part. That plugs in there. And then this goes into your external battery pack. And we're going to power on with our remote here. So we've got the remote, everything is showing powering on, red light therapy on. So we're gonna put this on, we're gonna put, doesn't matter which side you put it on. And you don't have to strap it on if you don't want to. You can just lay it on there if you want to. But if you want to strap it on, you can do an X pattern. So we can do one coming down and one coming across the other side. You can do one strap at top going across the back, across the top. There's a lot of different ways you can apply this. And you can, if you can carry your battery pack around, you can walk around with this on. It's not going to stay put as easy. So I highly suggest you just leave it on while you're seated. Now, the other thing you can do is you can wear this while you're doing the vibration. So I can actually turn on the vibration platform. And again, pick your program, pick your happy, and we can multitask. So there you have it. If you have the Aleva Red Pro therapy belt, you can run it long ways, you can wrap it around, so many different ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way, just get the red light therapy on the joint. That's what makes all the difference. So that's what I got to share with you today, my friends. And again, I have been using these exercises over 20 years for managing knee pain in athletes and the active population with knee pain or knee injury or post-operative care. It does work. So if you are seeing a physical therapist and you're running out of money, or you don't want to go see a physical therapist, or you want to do more in addition to your physical therapy, you can do this entire program twice a day. If you can't do it too much because you're just using vibration in your own body weight, we're not loading heavy weight. So if you want to take advantage of these exercises for free from experts, then you can work on feeling your best self from the convenience of your home. If you have knee pain and you don't have money to go to the doctor, you don't want to have the MRI done, go through these series of exercises, because even if you do have osteoarthritis on a severe level, or you have an ACL tear, or you have other ailments that are causing you pain, even just being on the vibration platform is going to help with the inflammation so you don't get a stiff knee joint and you don't have muscle shutdown. So if you want to try these exercises and see if they work before you go to the doctor, because you don't want to go to the doctor, give it a try for 2 or 3 days. You're going to feel something different. If it's going to have a chance to help you, you're going to feel something different within 2 or 3 days pretty easily. And so if you don't feel better in 2 or 3 days, then go back and review the video and make sure you're doing the exercises right, or go to your doctor and get an evaluation done. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I'm always so excited to be able to share my expertise and my knowledge and the gifts that Life Pro has within our product line. It is a great opportunity to share with you at home and help you at home. We at Life Pro are here in purpose. And remember, purpose is not who we are, what we do. Purpose is what happens to you when we do what we do. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve and share with you today, and for giving me your time. And if you do happen to have questions, just post it in the comment box, and we will chime in and give you some responses, or answer those questions as best as we can. And again, you can use these exercises for knee strengthening. If you don't have any injury, you can use it for injury prevention. You can use it for hip pain as well, foot, ankle pain. Just because you don't have knee pain, like all these exercises work for the whole lower body. So I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, let us thank you for allowing us to help you become the best version of yourself possible. Seek out positive energy, eliminate the energy vampires, and always look at the good things that are going on around you in the form of gratitude. What are you grateful for today? You've already survived your worst day, and you get to watch me hang out with you today. So if you're having an off day, you're allowed to have an off day. Just don't get stuck there, because movement is medicine, my friends, and motion is lotion. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.